Welcome back to Dalar's Tactics, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, I'm really stretching for these informative video ideas, but I think some people may get something out of this one, so I'm going to do it anyway. So you saw the title of this video. It's, "Are you gearing your DPS correctly?" Or something like that. I may change it in post. But what spurred on this video was a video that I watched, a couple of videos that I watched. But first, we kind of got to discuss my thoughts on gearing. So, up till now, we're going to use Bedivere because he's the one I've been doing the testing on. I've always operated on the assumption, like I do in many other video games, is that attack sets are primarily for beginning game. Attack sets, even in this game, you get them very easily. They're plentiful. You know, they come with doing the Yaskell Hide. They're a base set. You don't have to. You're not supposed to craft them because you can just farm them. And what I was always operating under the assumption was the attack sets are for beginning game. And then as you get to the end game, you want to build out a hero more like I have always advocated, like Bedivere here is built out. He's in 2 crit rate and a crit damage set. Because in most games, the flat attack was only for heroes generally that could not crit. Because otherwise, if they could crit, you generally wanted to build them as close to 100% crit rate as possible and then try to maximize for crit damage. And that mathematically always made for higher DPS numbers. Now, I had to really kind of check myself and my assumptions when I saw Stu Gaming's video on Tristan. Now, if you guys haven't seen that or you're not aware, people aren't gearing Tristan for speed anymore. Mine is currently geared for speed, but in the great ban hammer of 2024, speed got nerfed, and Tristan and Ban are 2 heroes that have their DPS run off of multipliers for speed. I'm not going to show you, I'm not going to deep dive into Tristan here, but now it's come to light that you have to abandon the speed set in favor of an attack set with high speed secondaries. Now, you still want the same primaries on someone like Tristan, for example. You know, you still want the crit rate earrings. You still want the attack neck. You still want the attack speed ring. You still want the attack speed orb, right? But you want to keep your crit rate and your crit damage stats as close to as possible with an attack set versus running the speed set, because you're not gaining the benefit of the speed set, even though that is how his kit reads. And people are starting to put up some pretty crazy damage numbers with an attack set. Now, we've already experienced this, and we've seen it. It's proven now. We just take it for granted. But Cormac is somebody that has his kit says build him for defense, because yes, he gets attack multipliers on his DPS, but he's also get defense multipliers. So I've heard a talk about, well, let's build him with some defensive sets, or should we build them with a defensive percent necklace instead of an attack percent necklace? And we've kind of just taken it for granted that no, you don't. But now, as you see how I got my Cormac built, am I missing out on not running an attack set versus running the crit damage set and the 2 crit rate sets? Now, that was the first thing. So Stu's video on Tristan was the first thing that kind of started me down the idea of, well, I got to test this. I got to question this. And then I saw a video today from Scratch. Very good content creator. He's in the Celestials Alliance, same as myself. And he was doing a best build video for Bedivere. And initially, when I was watching, I don't think he showed his stats, but he showed his set, and his set was a 4-piece attack set and a 2-piece crit rate set. And I immediately kind of sat back and was like, no, that's not right. That's not right. But then I remembered Stu Gaming's video where he put Tristan in an attack set. So I'm like, okay, well, let me go test this. And now that's what I'm going to replicate to you all. We're going to show you that maybe, is it better to gear like this, which I've always been advocating till now, or is it better to actually run an attack set? So let's show you, first of all, what my Bedivere is looking like. So he's got 4,900 attack. He's a little bit over the cap. You only need 60% because he's going to give himself 40 through his kit. And he's 102 crit damage, 127 speed. Okay? So that's his stats. And you saw he was in a damage set and 2 crit rate sets. So where I was doing my testing was in Crom Crotch, Hell, 10-7. The reason being is Crom Crotch is a neutral element hero. I wanted to try to control all the variables. As such, I'm bringing in these 3 healers. It doesn't really matter what their relics are. You're going to see what I mean when we go into the battle. Let's make sure auto is off. Okay, so bye-bye Guinevere. Good. Okay, so you can see, let's look at the buffs that are on the heroes right now. Let me pull this down. You can see the only thing that's on him is he's got the crit rate up and the hit accuracy up. Those come from Nika. I don't know who gives the recovery up from, but that doesn't matter because we're not going to be doing any healing. And Romantic Reversal, that's coming from Guinevere. That just blocks abnormal statuses. Okay, so there's no real true attack buffs. Hit accuracy, cool. That just makes it so we're going to hit him every time. It's going to keep the numbers consistent. But you see, there's also no debuffs on Crotch to worry about. So we've kind of controlled the test bed. So let's just do a S1 with Turin and an S1 with Nika. And now it's good old Bedivere's time. I didn't want to do the S3 on Nika because I don't want to be putting some attack numbers. I don't want to be loading up Bedivere with more stats. I want him to be as neutral as possible for this testing. So now I can almost guarantee you the number that's going to pop up right here is going to be 10, 723, or 728. 10, 783. Okay. So let's come on out. Let's forfeit. We're just going off that one attack. Let's show you the stats. Let's show you the offense. You see 10, 783. That is the number I've been getting in testing all day. So we're going to do that one more time just so we can confirm, so you'll have the receipts that the damage numbers are the same. And for this set. Boom. Boom. Now, since Guinevere wasn't on the field last time, I want to make sure that we keep it exactly the same. So I'm going to use her charge attack. So she's not doing anything, right? She's not contributing anything. And here goes Betty again. 10, 783. That's the number I've been getting consistently all day with that damage set. Or that, yeah, that damage crit rate set. Numbers, offense, 10, 783. Okay. All right, so now let's go rebuild our Betty. And up till today, I thought that this was the incorrect way. Oh, it must have just hit reset because you guys got to suffer through me clicking all these buttons. Wow, bad timing, Dylar. Okay, Bedivere. So now let's build them out. So let's try them out. Let's go filter for attack sets. We're gonna go this one. We're gonna go this one. Oh, wait. First, I want to do this a different way so you guys see the comparison. So damage. Let's put that damage helm back on him. Let's pull up the dressing room. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Attack. Get rid of those. So, head. Equip temporarily. Equip temporarily. Equip temporarily. And equip temporarily. So now let's look at the difference in stats. So now we're running the 4 attack set, and we're running 1 crit rate set. Nothing has statistically really significantly changed in his stats other than his flat attack value. We're gaining about a little over 800 flat attack. You can see the defense went up slightly, the HP went down slightly, the speed went down slightly. The crit rate is now just under the cap. 60% is the cap. So effectively, he's still going to be at a 100% crit rate after his kit mechanics kick in. So we're maintaining that, right? We're maintaining that. And you see the biggest difference, or the second biggest difference, is his crit damage now is dropped by about 15%. 15%. That's a big chunk of crit damage. Up till now, I've been prioritizing crit damage over flat attack. So from 49 to 57, or let's just say 5,000 to 5,800. And we're dropping from 102 down to 87 crit damage. So let's change that all out. And now let's go back and let's replicate that baseline testing where all the variables are going to be the same. Start battle. Remember, the old number was 10,783, I do believe. Or set 10,728, something like that. So S1, S1. And now the test. Boom, boom. Did you catch it? Did you catch it? It was 11,700. We're just going to forfeit. We're going to look at the battle stats. And here you go. 11,741. That's 10,000 more damage. That's, you know, we're doing 10 times, or not 10 times. We're doing 10% more damage, even though we're not running as high of crit damage, but we're running that attack. So let's do it one more time, just so to show you that it's all consistent. So Guinevere stayed on the field this time. So to make things equal, we're going to have her use her S3. Right? So that way she's not taking a turn. And now Betty's going to go. And it's probably going to be the exact same number. 11,740. So, ladies and gentlemen, we just proved that I was wrong and other people were right. Don't tell my wife that I've ever said that. I've never uttered those words. I'm wrong, they were right. No. Every good husband knows never ever to let that slip once, because once you let it go once, you are forever screwed. So, yes, again, 11,741. That's about 10,000 more running that attack set versus a crit damage set. So, attack sets do have their place. Now, I do want to give a slight caveat. So if we go back to Bedivere. Now, remember that we were running prior, the old set was a 4-star chess piece, which it's a defense primary, so that doesn't really matter, but we were running a 4-star. We were running this one. So we are giving this set just 4.5% more attack by running the attack. Had this neck piece been like a 6-star, then maybe the sets would have been equivalent. So if that's the case, the bottom line that I want you to take away from this video is go out there and mix and match your gear. Do some testing. Because you could be leaving 10% attack or 10% damage off the table. I guess you're leaving it on the table is how the expression goes. Although if you're leaving it on the table, you can see it. So it's had to have rolled off the table, in my opinion, to be... never mind. You get the point. So now, who else do I have built out that I possibly would want to change? Who do I have built out like that? Clarison was, but now I've got her in a Vigor crit rate set for prioritizing her S2 and not losing Vigor. But... I do believe, no, Vigor, which attackers? I think here's one. So, Cloudus probably built wrong. I could probably get more damage out of her in an attack set. Possibly, I'd have to test it. Gawain, also I built in the same way. Crit rate and crit damage. That Cormac that we looked at earlier, maybe he's built wrong. Maybe I want to prioritize attack more. But... so those are things that I'm going to have to try to reassess and change and maybe make my account better. So ladies and gentlemen, let me get the big face here now. Like I said, to take away anything from this video, don't discount attack gear. Don't believe every content creator if they say they know the exact way to gear, because I was obviously the word that shall not be spoken. And we've proven through testing that other ways can be better. And if you're serious about this game, you should always be doing that testing. You should always be reevaluating your account. You should be always going back to your gear to make it better. Because the current content in this game, the end game content, which is Clan Boss 25 to 30 and Forbidden Dungeon Hard, it's hard. So for reference, actually let's bring this window back. When I say it's hard, if we look at Clan Raid, oh, now I got it. If we look at Clan Raid, if we look at rankings, Clan rank, you see my guild is currently in 3rd. The main Celestials guild is in 1st, And then I don't know how to pronounce this in whatever language that is. I don't want to assume. But they're way ahead. And we've got 5 days left. You can't see the timer because it's underneath my head. But we've got 5 days left. And as you can see from the health bars in this level 30 bosses, we got a long ways to go. So there is a possibility that now they've tuned Clown Raid to the point where you got to maximize your damage output. Okay? Now, the heroes that you're going to be using in here are obviously specific to this game mode. But the rule still applies. That you should be testing your gear to make sure you're getting the most out of your gear. So, let me know what you thought of this video. Is it just filler? Is it just fluff? We'll make that the code word of the day. Code word of the day is fluff. Because it kind of feels like fluff, but it kind of doesn't. Because a 10% increase of damage to my Bedivere is a significant change that I was taking for granted one way. And I was proven otherwise incorrect. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap that up right there. Remember, fluff, word of the day. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, cheers, peace, bye-bye.